Hello, my name is Katarina Albuquerque, and I am the UN Special Rapporteur on the human right to safe drinking water and sanitation. I'm very happy to address you today. Unfortunately, I could not be in New York because at the time that you are listening to me, I'm in a plane flying from Geneva to Lisbon. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to talk a little bit about human rights and about how the integration of human rights in the outcome document of Rio+20 is so fundamental. And it is fundamental because without human rights we might get it wrong, and we might be, without integrating fully human rights into the outcome document, we might be simply forgetting the people we should be working for, the people who are at the basis of creating the United Nations. Human beings who are forgotten, who are vulnerable, who are marginalized, who are discriminated against. And for this reason, it is so important that not only we integrate commitments that are based on human rights, I will give you the example of the rights to water and sanitation, but also, very importantly, that we include accountability mechanisms, because as we know, and as a group of colleagues of mine and myself have said in an open letter, there are many commitments made, but commitments without an accountability mechanism are not enough, and many commitments are made and they are not kept. So the accountability mechanisms are fundamental to making sure that there is any meaning attached to these commitments. Now, on the way how we draft these commitments, again, human rights are also fundamental, and they are also fundamental, taking the example of sanitation and water, because when we look at the Millennium Development Goals, and when I look at the way these goals have been used to promote investments and policies to ensure access to these rights at the national level, what I see is that fundamental human rights principles have not permeated, have not influenced the way policies are designed, the way policies are implemented. And very often I face governments telling me, why are you unhappy with us? We are meeting the MDGs. And I'm not happy, not because I'm an unhappy person in general, but because I have reasons, and good reasons, to be unhappy. For example, when you look at the MDGs, and at the MDG targets for water and sanitation, you see that the concept of quality is irrelevant, which means that as long as you have an improved water source, meaning a protected well or a water tap inside your house, you are good, and you are contributing to making sure that your government is an MDG hero. But I've opened water taps where the water coming out of them was black, and it is still contributing to making sure that that government is an MDG hero. I've met people who don't manage to pay their water bills. I met women in Africa telling me the water bills are killing us. And they were killing them because they could not pay for them, because the water being spent, for example, to flush the toilets was huge, and because they were forced to make impossible choices, which are unacceptable from a human rights, from a human rights point of view. They were forced to choose between paying the water bill or paying the pharmacy bill, paying the water bill or paying the groceries bill. So this is also taken into consideration in a human rights framework. It was not taken into account in the MDG framework. We are trying to change this for the MDG framework, and we must change it now for Rio+20. So I'm very happy to have had this opportunity to address you. Please do not forget that you have made commitments, you have undertaken commitments in the area of human rights. Please integrate them in the Rio+20 agenda. Integrate the concepts of accountability, the principle of non-discrimination. I see recurrently that progress has not reached the most marginalized people in the world, and encompass also the concepts of quality, safety, availability, cultural acceptability, and affordability for all. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best and lots of good inspiration for these negotiations.